down soft, turn the key and cooler on. This a pause for
Hello everyone. It is a very gloomy and rainy day here in London, but that won't stop us from the mission of the day. We're hosting afternoon tea for our neighbors. So when we first moved into our building about a year ago, we ran around, knocked on everyone's door and introduced ourselves. And then that's how we found out that there's a couple that lives right below us, and they're in their 80s and 90s. I think she's 80 something and the gentleman is nearly 90 years old, if I remember correctly. And we wanted to invite them over for tea and a Polish cake for the longest time. So even though it's pouring rain, I have a mission. I'm going to Ealing Broadway, which is an area in London, in the west of London, that's known for like the Polish shops, Polish church, Polish restaurant, and a pastry shop. They sell pastries from a city where I was born in. There is no better way to host our neighbors but by giving them some Polish cake from that pastry shop. And then we're gonna set the table and get ready to host our neighbors tonight. Now it's time to change and let's go. Back from the Polish pastry shop. Let me show you everything that I bought. So the first thing that I got is called florentynki. I'm not sure if it's like a purely Polish thing. Probably not. Looks more Italian to me. This is how they look like. They taste amazing. So if you ever go to this place in London or in Poland, highly recommend. Okay, so this cake is called the poppy seed cake, and we eat it mostly during Christmas. So I thought, well, if our neighbors are coming and we just had Christmas, maybe we should treat them to some poppy seed cake. But just in case they don't like poppy seeds, I got another thing. I got actually 2 more cakes. Lots of cake, I know. So 2 different kinds of apple, pastries, cakes. Now we're gonna set the table and cut the cake, get the tea ready, and wait for our guests to arrive. The tea is now over. The neighbors came. They really enjoyed it. They liked the Polish cake. So I'm so glad. I read in a book called Happy City that if you know at least one of your neighbors, then the level of your happiness rises significantly. And now I can say that I can wave to somebody on the street and I know them by name. And it's not actually a given. You would think like, oh, of course you know your neighbors and you can say hi to them, but not always. In the previous place where we lived, we kind of knew them. We said hello, but I think they were just living a really fast kind of life, and they were gone a lot of times, so we never really became friends with anyone in the building. But now that we moved to this new place, we were like, nope, it's gonna change. So I'm really, really glad. Now we're gonna make some light dinner, maybe watch a movie, and yeah, and I'll see you really soon. Good morning. It is a beautiful, beautiful day. The sky is blue, like you can see, not a single cloud, even though it's just 3 degrees and my hands are freezing. I'm on my way to the pool. One of the things that I promised myself I will do no matter what is that I will go to the pool once a week. It just feels like early spring and the birds are singing and it's just such a lovely day. I hope you're having a lovely day yourself. But yeah, let's go to the pool now. Thing that I didn't have a chance to tell you just yet is that I'm actually going to India on Friday. When you're watching this, I'm actually already there. I'm going with my friend Ananya. She has a family in Goa and she invited me to come with her and her husband to visit the family and just spend some time there. And I'm so excited. Sadly, Kuba can't come, but I'm gonna represent us, I hope, really well, because her family is there and everyone is there. I thought that the best gift that I can bring is some Polish sweets. So we're heading off to the Polish store and we're gonna get them some really delicious Polish sweets. Are you ready to go?
Yes!
Okay, so we're ready to go and yeah, I'm gonna show you what we get. So let's go. Another thing that we always buy is this water.
Polish San Pellegrino.
Let me see what else we always buy in the Polish store. This is, in my opinion, the best Polish ketchup that exists. Even the design, so retro. Hello, so I just came back from the photographer's gallery. I went there specifically for Zofia Rydet's exhibition. She was a photographer that did a project called why is it hard to say? Social Record, where she traveled across Poland and knocked on people's doors, specifically in the countryside, walked inside, greeted them, and asked if she could take a photograph of them in their space, in their house. I think it took her 10 or 15 years to complete, but the purpose of the project was to capture the spaces that are disappearing, like the wooden houses, the houses in the countryside, and how they look like inside. They were changing because of modernization, of people moving from countryside to cities, and that kind of slower life, countryside life, farmer's life was disappearing with it. She made them her subject of the project, and it was one of the most incredible art exhibitions, photographer exhibitions I've ever seen in my entire life. And honestly, I left so inspired. You know how you meet somebody in your life sometimes that can talk about anything? Like it can be, I don't know, they can talk about pipes or bicycles or prints or paint, or honestly, it doesn't even matter. Any subject you can think of, but they talk with such passion that you start becoming passionate about that thing. And this is how I feel now after I left that exhibition. I was really craving that feeling. I haven't had that in so long. So I just feel fulfilled. I spent about 2 hours just on one floor because all her photographs are displayed over the second or third floor in the gallery. And I just looked and looked at every single photograph that was there. And then I watched a whole documentary that was also displayed. So it was just amazing. I got myself 2 postcards that I'm going to put on my wall. Yeah, so this is the kind of project and photographs that she took. Just people, regular people in their homes. Because of her photographs, they're still alive in a way because we get to see them in their spaces. What she also wanted to show, and why I really resonate with her, is that there's so much beauty in the older things, the things that we as the modern world think we should get rid of, because who wants old things and who really wants to live in old wooden houses? It's better to tear them apart and build something new. In the documentary, she said that she really loves folklore, history, and that she's really connected to that, and that's exactly how I feel too. So I don't know, I think she's like my distant soulmate that I just never had a chance to meet in person, but I'm so inspired by. We're also very connected by one really random fact, is that she died on my birthday. Not the same year, 2 years after I was born. So she was still alive when I was born. But it was just like, oh my gosh, we share a very sad thing, but still we share something so random in a way. But it made me feel very connected, even more to her than anything. It got me thinking of all the things that I want to do artistic wise. And maybe you don't know, but I'm actually a musician and I teach music and I write songs, and I haven't written songs in a while, but that's a whole other story. Well, I'll probably tell you about it one day. But now I feel like 2026 is the year that I'm going to get back into creating music. Less consumption, more creation. That's another thing I want to add to my 2026 list of things, of goals, but it just doesn't feel like a goal. It just feels like inspiration and thing that I want to do. So I'm very curious if you've been to any art exhibitions or museums or anything like that that inspired you this much. And if yes, please let me know. Please share. I'd love to, if they're still around, I would still love to go. Maybe it's a museum that inspired you or something. Just let me know in the comments. I would love to read about that. But yeah, this is all from me right now. I'm going to pack. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for watching. If you made it to this point, you're the best. Thank you very much. Maybe I'll see you in the video from India next week. So, lucky. Thanks for watching. Bye.